All right, from the 6335 studio as seen and heard on our YouTube channel, welcome to Regina Sports Exchange, where sports and business intersect. Regina Sports Exchange is a podcast where we discuss the dynamics of sports and the opportunities it creates economically for individuals in our region, interviewing those with multiple roles in athletics. I'm your host, Stephen Lewis. Big thanks to show creator Jonathan Johnson for the platform. Really appreciate it. Follow us on IG at VA Sports Exchange to stay locked in with us. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel down the bottom to stay locked in with us and help our platform continue to grow. Today's show is sponsored by 6335 Restaurant, 6335, where great food meets great vibes. Call 804-728-1768 for more information. That's 804-728-1768, 6335 Restaurant. Today's episode is also sponsored by Cover One Foundation, a local nonprofit created to level the playing field in the Richmond area, providing resources to support athletes, teams, and organizations where they need it most. We are delighted to have a few board members with us today. Rob Reid, Steve O'Donnell, fellas. How y'all doing, man? Good to see y'all.
Doing great. Thanks so much for having us, Stephen. This is terrific.
Awesome. Thank you guys for what you do, man. I really appreciate it. We were all one of those young guys coming up trying to play sports and needing those equipments and things of that nature. So thank you for what you do, man. Really appreciate you guys.
Oh, our pleasure. We're just the vehicle. It's the coaches and the donors that are really putting all this stuff together for us.
Take us back to the beginning, man. How did Cover One get started?
Yeah, I love this story. So a couple of our current board members, and they were founding board members, Randy Blanchetti and Marty Malloy, they would kind of work out, walk together or what have you, and said, hey, look, we're at a point in our life that we wanted to do something to give back. And they really saw, and it really kicked off. It was a field hockey game.
Okay.
And they had Randy's daughter was on one team, and then they were playing another team. And, one team's walking off the bus with custom bags and custom warm-ups and their $300 sticks. And the other team is using PE grade sticks. They're sharing goggles. They don't even have their own goggles.
Oh, my goodness.
And, that's really when he was like, man, look, there's just so much disparity. And these kids are working just as hard as the other ones. It's just a matter of how can we try to level the playing field to promote and provide opportunities for these kids. One, to play sports, because we all know the life lessons that sports brings. And quick, I don't mean to go on a tangent.
No,
one of the biggest stats that I've seen is like 93% of female C-suite, in corporate level jobs played sports, right? And that's kind of a no-brainer. And I would imagine that it'd be the same for men. So just the life lessons of all the way down the line of what it brings.
Yep.
And so we want to provide the opportunity for them to play sports, but then also to help them again level that playing field, that when they're walking off the bus, they're feeling proud about what they're doing, working just as hard. So that's kind of really the genesis of how it all came about. They came to me, to myself, and they came to Steve.
Yes, sir.
And I can't call him Steve. His name is Monk, and that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother story. But it's all clean. But
So the story that Rob tells, that started basically December of 2019.
Okay.
So we kind of rallied the troops in 2019. Here's what we want to do. Here's the ideas. Rob and I are drinking the Kool-Aid like crazy. This is amazing. We want to be part of it. Not only do we want to be on the board, we also want to donate to this because we want to help our community.
There you go.
And then, by the way, COVID sets in.
Right.
So
hit
right as
3
we're
months.
starting to get a little bit of headwind or a little bit of wind behind our back, COVID hits. And it was kind of a blessing in a way for Cover One, because it allowed us then to kind of, without really going out and seeing coaches, things like that, kind of figure out what we were going to do with this foundation and how we were going to structure ourselves and start to talk to donors about what we were thinking about doing. And then we started to earn some money, and money was coming in. And so as soon as probably August, or Rob probably started long before that, July, talking to coaches, was what's the need? How much is it going to cost? Can our supplier get it to us quick enough for the season to start in August? And boom, we were off and running. So it's been fantastic, rolling ever since then.
Yeah.
Donors was one of my big questions. How have you guys got that momentum going? I know it's a lot of nonprofits probably trying to get started and trying to figure out how to get funding. How did you guys do it?
It's a great question. And really, I think we started with our friends
Yeah.
and family, and just talking the Cover One story. And it's not a hard sell. People
Yes.
believe, again, in the value that sports brings to these kids. So
Yep.
more often than not, they were like, how can we help? And
Gotcha.
so really, I would say the first couple of years, it was probably 95%, just personal individual donations and
Word of mouth kind of
yeah,
type stuff.
absolutely,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely. And as we've grown, we've started to get into some grants and some corporate sponsorships that have been tremendous. And we're
Awesome.
trying to keep that going. And
Yep.
again, we're all volunteers, all 5 of us on the board, and with 3 more that everybody's volunteer. Every penny that comes in to Cover One goes right back out to the community to
That's
help
awesome.
these kids. So
That's awesome.
it's not easy, but we've got a great foundation of supporters.
And what was interesting about talking about that part of it, when probably our first year into this, we had a relationship. One of the guys on our board had a relationship with somebody at Villanova that teaches a nonprofit class. And she basically told him, you guys are going to ramp up. You're going to have friends and family giving you money. You're going to think it's the greatest thing ever. And then people are going to kind of soften to that. And so you've got to figure out your next 2, 3, 4 years down the road, how you continue to get that, because your friends and your family are going to continue to donate. If you can get them to donate on a monthly basis, like automatic withdrawal from their account, that's great. They'll do it. They'll do it forever. But just hitting people up for $100, which is a lot of our donations, are really small. I mean, they're $100 or less. But they keep coming in, 2 or 3 times a year. Over the number of people that Rob and I know, locally in Richmond, and then these other guys that are on the board also have relationships both in town and out of town.
Gotcha.
And so what she said was exactly kind of what happened. We kind of got to a plateau as far as donations, and we decided we're going to do this event at the time was Sloop John B.
Yes,
that was a big
I have
fundraiser
attended.
for
Yes,
us.
That's right.
Very good.
And then the golf tournament. So this year's golf tournament is a month from yesterday.
Okay.
So this will be our 3rd year of doing that, and that's been a nice fundraiser. So we're starting to find more sponsors for drinks and for food and things like that. So then we start making more money for Cover One, so that we have more money to spend into the community. And we try to flip that as quick as we can. When we get donations, we want it out in the community as fast as possible.
Gotcha. So the tournament, is that open to the public? Is there information where we can find that to?
It's sold out.
We're sold out.
Oh, it's sold out.
There you go.
But it's been so popular. Again, a lot of our friends re-up every year.
Yep.
We're going to try to probably do 2 flights next year.
Okay.
A morning round and an afternoon round to try to double up on that. So,
and can you add a rookie round? Because I don't know what I'm doing. Balls going all over the place. I'll probably be like 10 hours to finish. Everybody's trying to get me into golf. I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't. I don't know if I'm able to do it.
That ball's just sitting still.
I know.
Right
there. And I'm sitting it way over here. So, I love the driving range. I go and hit, and I pay that thing straight as an arrow, and then it just hooks over. I'm like, I don't know. Something about that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Stephen Lewis here with Steve O'Donnell and Rob Reid here with Cover One Foundation, talking about their foundation doing great work in the Richmond area. Do you have any idea at this point how many programs and athletes you've assisted? Do you kind of keep those numbers?
We don't have a per athlete per se, but we do keep numbers as far as what our donations that we've given out. And I would say we eclipsed the 200,000 mark about 3 or 4 months ago. Wow. So we're probably about 225 now. And the neat thing that we like about what we're doing is we're not giving checks, right?
Yes.
We're actually providing equipment or uniforms, or maybe it's warm-ups or what it might, what have you. So it's something they get a kick out of. We still try to go to the schools and do a donation day and tell the story a little bit, and really kind of try to help them understand what a nonprofit is. Maybe it's something down the road that they want to give back.
For sure.
So I think that's about where we are now. I think we've touched probably 30 plus schools, and
that's awesome.
And over maybe 100, 150 individual sports within those schools.
Yeah.
And one thing that we've really tried to do now, Stephen, too, is get into the individual donation. We've had a really hard time, being with my history with BSN.
Yes.
I knew where the needs were, and was able to really go out and find those needs pretty easily. Call that AD, hey, what sports are struggling, what sports need some help, and at the right schools. But now we've got the partnership with CIS and is
Chesterfield
in school. There's something in schools in Chesterfield County, but they sit in different schools in underserved areas, and so they work more with the individuals. It's a great program, and my apologies for not knowing the actual acronym. But
we'll try to throw it up on the screen here if you find it. Let me know.
There you go. Absolutely. But it's been they've been wonderful. So they'll come to us with a need. Hey, little Johnny wants to play football, but he's got to buy his own helmet and shoulder pads. That's $500. He can't afford that. So they bring us the need. We look at it. Boom, we'll do it. Girls on the Run is a pretty big nonprofit program here. There was a sector of elementary schools that kids that wanted to do the run. So we provided, I think, shorts or tights and even some running shoes in that situation. So little things like that has really opened up the door for us to help the individuals. And now we're actually getting into nutrition support, teaming with Mercy Chefs, I think, which is another nonprofit. So we start with Armstrong. We're going to start with their baseball and softball team doing their pregame meals. And Mercy Chefs are making the meals. We're providing, getting the meals out there to them, and hopefully, keep that blowing up too. So it's been exciting. It's been awesome.
That's awesome, man. Is there a goal in mind about how many programs you guys want to help a year? Or is it just like you said, you're just getting that money and just getting it out?
I would say we don't set goals like that. Our goals are more how much money can we bring in, and then let's go find opportunities. So we're calling ADs. People are starting to reach out to us through our website now, which is amazing.
Good.
Makes our legwork a lot easier. I know we're going to talk about the Luke Reid Foundation
coming up,
but that has been we didn't realize this at the time. But when we, if we have 20 applicants come in and only 2 winners, we have 18 coaches out there that aren't getting, in theory, anything, but they have a need. And so we basically scrub their application, even though they didn't win, and we'll call them and say, hey, you noted on your application that you needed this, you needed this, you needed this, or whatever. We can't help with all 3 of those, but we're going to help with one of them. So you choose which one you want, and we'll fund it.
I didn't think about the scholarship working that way. That's very helpful to know, because I know you've called me several times like, hey, Steve, you know anybody, in need? So that makes sense. That's awesome. Stephen Lewis here, Virginia Sports Exchange, with Cover One board members Rob Reed and Steve O'Donnell. Is there a program or story that really sticks out? I know you kind of told a story about how it got started. But is there a program that you really helped that really touched you guys? I know all of them are important, but is there one that's kind of more special to you than
I'll say
than
for me personally, the one that touched me the most was our donation to the basketball coach at Armstrong. And, a lot of what we like to do is like the swag type stuff, right? The pullovers, the uniforms, the bags, whatever, all that stuff. And that's great stuff. And I love that when I was playing, don't get me wrong. But she really noted that her kids needed therapy. And I didn't really understand what that meant. And just the trials and tribulations of what some of these kids dealt with on a daily basis, which I have no appreciation of that whatsoever. But we supported it. And I think not only was I moved by that whole situation, when she came back a year later and said, we went from, I'm making a number up, 25 technical fouls in girls basketball the year before. We had 1 this year, and it was really an unwarranted one. It should have been 0. But that really was a wake up call to me. It's awesome that we're giving gear and the kids feel good about what they're wearing and all that. But when you start getting to that level, and then we re-upped with the therapy the next year for that team, and same result, loved it, crazy. So that for me is was my big win.
That's a good one. I love that.
I think, like you said, there's so many to mention. One that just stands out to me is Meadowbrook softball. The coach is just, she's such a sweet lady, and almost kind of like a grandma, right? and oh gosh, I hope she's but she was
young grandma.
But she came to us, and these poor girls were wearing uniforms that were 10 years old, and they're baggy, and you know how the whole genesis of again, not the genesis, but how everything's evolved with softball uniforms. So anyway, we got her a new set of Nike uniforms for her team, and we got to do the donation where we popped them out of the bag. The kids just went crazy. She started crying, and it's just, man, it's just, that's the stuff that really talks to what we're doing and our donors, that they're making such a big difference out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stephen Lewis here, Virginia Sports Exchange, here with Rob Reid and Steve O'Donnell of Cover One. So big reason that we're here, the Luke Reid Making a Difference Award. Talk about that for me, Rob, how that came about. It's the fourth year of it, I believe, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just talk about that, how that goes, and then we'll kind of get into the details of what people need to do to apply.
Okay. Thanks, Stephen. So this was near and dear to my heart. We have a mutual friend that's been a long time, where he's been a donor, but he came to us and he grew up with my family, and my dad had a huge impact on him, not only in athletics, but just in life. Sitting at the kitchen table at 10 o'clock at night, after a long day, he came back from Royal Oldsmobile, and they're sitting there talking, and just nothing on agenda, just talking. So when he learned about what we were doing at Cover One, he's like, Rob, I really want to help, and I want to do something, because 99% of what we're doing goes directly to the kids, right?
Yes.
And he goes, I want to do something that could maybe recognize some coaches that are doing, over and above out there.
Yeah.
And so we came up with this Making a Difference Award, and he said he wanted to name it after Dad. So, I mean, that certainly touched me and my family unbelievably. So he committed to 10 years of this donation, where it's $7,500 for a male sport coach and $7,500 for a female sport coach each year. And that, that money, so there's a big application process and whatnot, but basically that money goes directly back into their program.
Gotcha.
And not only are we helping their program, but we're also recognizing these coaches. You're a coach.
Yes.
You live with coaches. I mean, it is absolutely amazing what these coaches do. I was talking to one yesterday that basically, he spent 14 hours over the weekend as a high school baseball coach. They had a fundraiser, they had a scrimmage, and then basically he uses his Sundays as prep planning for his academic, for his teaching.
Yeah.
So, folks have no idea.
A lot of hours.
You divide the money by the hours, and you're talking, 50, 60 cents an hour. So they don't do it for the money, they do it, and they're changing lives. So for us to be able to offer this and promote the coaches, and like Steve said, even the ones that don't win, we try to help them as well, and also just recognize the coaches as well. And Zach at Richmond Times-Dispatch is just
awesome job doing articles. Yes,
he really does a great job for us, and he's a big supporter. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the people that are, is it just a regular person that is filling out the application for the coach? Does the coach have to fill out the application? How does that work?
So typically the coach, so we promote it to all the schools. And we kind of do a 50-mile radius is kind of where we pin drop maybe the diamond and said, hey, look, because 99% of our support comes locally. Well, he's done a good job up in the Philly area with his old Sal boys. But yeah, so basically we'll send out to the athletic directors and the activities directors of the counties. They disperse it out to the coaches. The coaches will apply. They do have to get a letter of referral. A lot of times it's an athletic director, or maybe it's a parent or something like that. But we've tried to make the process a lot easier. It was kind of maybe a little overkill the first year. So it's only 2 or 3 questions. Tell us about what you're doing, what your needs are, because it is very much a need-based program as well. And then tell us about some things that are important to you in coaching, and a reference letter. And then it's a pretty big process. 5 of us on the board. We all vote. We go through each application. We vote blindly. And then we put all the numbers together. So, it's not just a bunch of dudes sitting around going, hey, I like this guy. Right. So it's a big process, and it's been so heartwarming being able to deliver these awards to these coaches.
Yes.
And we try to make sure the team's there, the athletic department, and that type of thing. And we're even talking about doing, because right now it's kind of focused high school. We're even talking about maybe starting next year with a youth coach award as well. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So is it cover1foundation.org? That's where you go to
Cover, yeah, and the number one. So cover1foundation.org.
Okay.
And the application's there online. So we've had it out for about a month, but March 23rd is the deadline.
Yep.
So still about another week. And we encourage any coaches to apply, and we'll go through it. And it's been good. We've had roughly anywhere from 25, 30 applicants a year.
Good.
So it's pretty rigorous.
Yep.
And every one of those people that apply could, we could award it to,
Sure.
and that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
But like Monk said, we try to give back, even if they don't win. We try to look at the application and see how we can help in another way too.
Gotcha. Awesome. So March 23rd, again, coaches, if you're watching, go ahead, log on, cover the number1foundation.org. Go ahead and put in your application. You never know, you could be the next winner. This is the 4th year of it. So a boys coach and a girls coach, boys program and a girls program are going to be honored. Terrific opportunity for your athletic program. And there is a scholarship. Is there a scholarship for students as well that you guys have been working on?
We've done some different things over the past. We've kind of, that hasn't been as consistent. I think we did a City of Richmond scholarship for a bit. And then we did another scholarship, but we kind of have dissolved that a little bit. I would say
Okay.
most of, we've really got into this individual needs.
Gotcha.
And, we talk about maybe a kid wants to go to a summer basketball camp.
Yeah.
Can't afford it, right?
Yep.
We're trying to provide and remove any barriers to entry for kids playing sports. So
awesome.
kind of took that scholarship away a little bit to really devote more towards the individual donations.
And we also want the ADs and the coaches to know that we're here so that they can pick up and say, hey, little Johnny just made the baseball team, but his parents can't afford cleats. So can you guys get him a pair of cleats or a glove or a helmet or whatever the need is?
Mm-hmm.
And the more people, and we also find that people say like, oh, I didn't even know about you guys. Well,
right.
You did.
Yeah.
You should just call. Like, reach out.
Yeah.
Put us on your phone so you have Cover One, and then call us when you have a need. Because we love those opportunities.
Is there anything as a public or anybody that's listening right now that we can do to continue to put your message out there so people don't feel apprehensive about reaching out, or they know to, reach out to their AD to reach out to you guys? Like, what can we do?
I think the best thing is every AD at every school should have Cover One information, whether it's a card or an email from us or something.
Yes.
And when something comes across their desk, they say, I'm going to call Rob, I'm going to call Steve, I'm going to reach out to their website.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, we have had some ridiculous requests, like a golf simulator, which Rob and I like to laugh about. Things like that. Like, thank you for asking, and we appreciate you having us on your Rolodex, but that's not really what we're about. But we've had 50 other ones where it's this kid needs a pair of cleats. This young lady her parents can't afford the warm-ups that the whole team's getting.
Yes.
Team shop's open. Can you guys pay for that? Like, we're all over that. We love that kind of stuff.
And to his, we're all volunteers. We see that if they want to have an inquiry on the website, if they don't have our numbers, but we'll give our numbers right here to reach out to us. But super easy to go to the website and do an inquiry. It all comes to all 5 of us within 24 hours. We're getting back with the coach or the AD. And literally, we typically make a decision in 30 minutes. We'll send an email out. We'll have a conversation with the coach or AD. This is the need. Send an email out to our board, and boom, yes, boom, yes. And there's very few no's because we want to support, and we want to do whatever we can to help these kids through sports.
Love it. Before we get out of here, J.R. Tucker, right? Steve, you're not a local? You're a local guy.
Oh yeah.
Where you? You're Tucker too. So you guys have been
state champs 85 right
85.
Yeah.
All right.
So we were baseball teammates.
Okay.
We grew up playing baseball together and against each other, and then he played basketball all the way through, and I played football all the way through. So and he's a LaSalle Explorer baseball guy, Richmond baseball guy. So we're passionate about sports, and he still coaches for your nemesis.
Collegiate.
That's right. I didn't know that.
He's been volunteering over there for what?
7 years.
7 years now.
Okay.
So love it.
Yeah, so we know, and I was in the sporting goods business for 30 years.
Right.
So man, we see it and know it daily, the needs that are out there. And take a minute to just say thanks for everything you do, Steve.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank
You're
you.
awesome, man. With the
Appreciate it.
804 Coaches for Change and how
you.
we've come together to support each
Absolutely.
other with that has been
sir.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys are making a difference.
Thank
and
you.
I know,
Appreciate it.
your work from you and I 20 years ago with the 804 basketball all-star.
Yep,
game,
that's
right?
coming up this weekend.
God,
So I'm
that's
still,
crazy,
I
man.
don't, because I'm so busy with my main job at St. Chris and thing, the 804 Coach for Change. I told Antoine, I had to back up, man. I can't do it. He's like, okay, all right, no problem. But then he like calls when he comes. It's like, all right, so the game is this day. I'm like, oh, I thought I'm not working. So I still run the day of the game day operations of it. So that's on Saturday at Virginia State. So looking forward to seeing the boys and the girls get out there. So and thank you for your help as well. BSN has always been helpful for that. I know you're not there anymore, but just starting it off. So just getting the uniforms and stuff for the kids, they get so excited about it, personalized jerseys and stuff like that. So it's a fun time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being out there this Saturday. So
good stuff.
We'll see how it goes. So, but thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Good luck again. Thank you so much for what you do as well. I just think this program is just so needed, and I hope this program will enable more people to know about what you guys are doing and honor some more coaches, but also help some more kids out here that are trying to play sports. So
awesome. Thank you, man. We can't thank you enough for having us out here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, that's another one in the books. Stephen Lewis, Virginia Sports Exchange in the 6335 studio. We'll see you next time.